The best areas to invest in Dubai under 1 million dirhams. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. My name is Joe Butler, and as always, I am bringing you the most informative real estate content in Dubai. As always, I promise everybody a free 30-minute call, which you need to just follow the link below. And also, there's a link to my exclusive WhatsApp group where you can get access to some of the newest launches and property deals on the market. All right, guys, so I'm making this video because a lot of buyers in the market are, looking for properties under 1 million dirhams, which, you're looking for a good deal. And, a lot of people are exploring to see what is good on the market, but then obviously it comes to, well, what area is the best place to invest if I'm looking at spending this kind of money? And I say this to a lot of people, it really depends on the goal of the purchase of the property. Because if you're looking at off-plan, for example, and you're looking at purchasing under 1 million dirhams, I mean, the market's changing. There's not a lot of options anymore on the market for under that price. And if there is, they may be studios or, a one bed that is of a small size. And, if you are actually able to get something under that price, that's a great price. But again, you need to look at the developer, you need to look at the location, and we're going to talk about that in this video. But a property for under that value is indefinitely going to generate you cash flow. But if you're looking at purchasing a property under 1 million dirhams with the intention that, I just want to buy this, I want to flip it, I want to take my profit out, I'm not going to say it's not possible, but you can't expect an insane amount of appreciation because for that budget, realistically, you're not going to get something on the waterfront or you're not going to get something in a branded residence. You're going to get something of a very, a good caliber. You're going to definitely get yourself a good property if, you choose the right developer, but it might not necessarily be the perfect property to just buy and flip. Like I said, though, you can still expect to generate a very healthy cash flow from this. Okay, so we're going to start by talking in the obvious areas, because I assume if you've been looking at properties for under this value, you may have thought, all right, well, we need to find something as close to the waterfront as possible, such as Marina. We'll take Marina, for example. Yes, if you go into Property Finder, you can find properties for under 1 million dirhams. But, if you aren't from Dubai and you don't understand what it actually takes to purchase a property and benefit from everything else it can provide, such as the building, this is a big thing that you need to consider. Because I'll tell you now, like in the Marina, if you're looking at something for under 1 million dirhams, I can't say that the building is actually going to be of a very good quality. It might seem, because the location is perfect, it's going to do really well. It might generate you cash flow, but there's also a good chance if you pick a very few select of the buildings that are available for that kind of budget, it may just be depreciating very, very slowly. Because a lot of these buildings in the Marina and stuff like that, if they're of a certain age, we don't really see a lot of maintenance happening any there. A lot of people are having problems with sewage and also things like, air conditioning needs replacing. And you actually might end up spending a lot of money on it to bring it up to the standard and the quality it needs to be. And it's the same with downtown, right? These two are like pretty much the hustle and bustle, the main areas that everyone thinks they should invest in. But this video is actually to tell you that there are other options to consider, and I'm going to explain them as well. So we're going to start with one of my favorite, and this is no particular order, by the way, guys, Maidan and Shoba. Now, if you look at Maidan and the Shoba Heartland area, it's an incredible area. They've got so much coming up in this community. Shoba Heartland, they've got, like I said, a very incredible reputation, as I've said in my previous videos. And there is opportunities to get into the market under 1 million dirhams. You might find a seller that is selling one of his old studios or maybe one of his small one bedrooms. The sizes won't be the biggest, but what you've got to appreciate is that the developer, the area, and the quality are all going to be contained within this. And as I said, Shoba's a very, very new area. So if you're looking at something, a prime example, maybe a small Shoba Waves one bedroom unit. Now, may only be around 470 square foot, but this is a perfect example of something that would be good under 1 million dirhams. I'm not saying it's possible to find something depending on the time of this video, but I am saying that recently I've saw a couple of sellers selling at this price. So if you can snap something up in this area by the developer Shoba, that would be incredible. Maidan is a great area. And then following on from that, which is also close by, we've got Business Bay. I love Business Bay, but the only thing you need to worry about Business Bay is that there's a lot of building going on. And specifically in this video, I'm talking about ready properties because there's nothing that you're going to get from the developer in these two areas off plan anymore because the starting prices are going to be way higher. But if you're looking at something ready, if you're going to somewhere like Business Bay, for example, you're definitely going to find something for under that budget. Now, I can't tell you about the age of the building or anything like that until you obviously specifically find a unit. But that's why what I say to everybody, you need to obviously do your own homework. You need to do your own research. You need to go onto Bayut or Property Finder, and then you need to, do a little bit of your own due diligence. Look at who the developer of the building is. Have they built anything before? What are the reviews saying online? Because Business Bay, I think the location is amazing, but you can also get stung with the fact that, you could have a poor view, right? Because there's a lot of building going on there. You could be in a low floor. It could be facing a couple of construction sites, and then you're going to be faced with construction for the next few years. But again, like I said, for under 1 million dirhams, there are opportunities to get into Business Bay. I'm not saying it's very easy, This is just sort of like an overview example that Business Bay is one of them areas. if you can snap up a good unit, I love the area for sure. JVC and Arjan, you've heard me talk about these areas before. I think JVC and Arjan are fantastic areas. You know, people used to think that they were quite far away from the city, but if you look where it's actually located, it's very centrally located. Now, I'd say Arjan is, you know, a little bit slightly, you know, there's not as much going on in that area as there is JVC, you know, because JVC has the mall, it's got more shops, it's got more restaurants, it's got generally a more bustling community, but Arjan is pretty much following suit from there. Now, these two areas are located around 15 to 20 minutes away from the main attractions, you know, 15 minutes to the marina, 25 minutes to downtown / business bay. So they're in very convenient locations for the general population to get to work. And you can actually get a very, very good unit for under 1 million dirhams. As I spoke about, first of all, Maidan, you'd get a good unit if you can find one, but it's going to be extremely small, less than probably 500 square foot. Business bay, you can definitely get one again, but it might have a poor view and the building might be old. But then if you go into JVC and Arjan, this is the two areas that you can actually still buy off plan under 1 million dirhams. And what I mean by this is the value for money in these areas is going to be way better in terms of what you actually get. Now, from an end user point of view, if you're living, you know, in an apartment and you're in it a lot of the time, are you going to prefer the location or are you going to prefer the quality of the apartment? It's all going to come down to how much time you spend in it, right? Now, I would say a majority of people actually prefer the quality of the apartment. So in JVC and Arjan, these are two areas that you would actually find both quality, size, location's not that bad. Obviously, the views are never going to be as spectacular if you're looking onto the water or maybe a city skyline, but still, if you're looking at it from a quality point of view, then this could be the area that you choose. I would say it's probably the most popular. We have seen a dramatic increase in sales in both areas because there's a lot of off-plan coming to the market. But listen, I still think there's so much room to grow. I know loads of people that live in JVC. You know, I think it's a very good area. And obviously, if you're looking at building a cash flow portfolio, I think it's prime. So do I say the same about Arjan. Okay, so we got two more to talk about. And the next one is Sports City. This is an interesting area because I actually play golf in Sports City and I sometimes go to the gym there as well. Now, this area is behind JVC. And, you know, recently, since I was around there, maybe I got some food and stuff like that. You know, I actually think the retail areas are actually pretty good, you know? Like, you know, you've got quite a lot of restaurants, you've got a Waitrose, you've got like nice little areas to go and see. And also the fact that they've got a huge golf course. It's a very green area. And I still think this area is like quite underdeveloped. They seem to have started to build now, but actually it's been very much focused on, like I said, Sports City on the sports, but now they seem to be bringing a lot more residential. And I'm confident you can find something under 1 million dirhams. There's actually a couple of options off plan as well. So this is an area that you should look out for. And the final one, this community is actually one of my favorite, Damac Hills. Now, Damac Hills, there isn't a lot for under 1 million dirhams, but you can definitely find apartments close to the golf course. Now, again, Damac Hills is a very vibrant community. It's very family orientated. Again, I've played golf there. It's a very, you know, it's like home away from home in some sense, you know, because you've got like a lot of kids playing around, you've got parks, you've got lakes, you've got a fishing lake. So the community itself is brilliant. Now, the properties that you can get under 1 million will probably not be amazing, but a lot of people want to live there. So again, so if you're looking at it from a community point of view, I actually think Damac Hills is a much better community than JVC and Arjan and Sports City because it actually feels like a community and it's a very interesting area. So that's definitely worth considering. Okay, guys, to conclude, I've just given you an overview of different areas in Dubai that you could invest under 1 million dirhams in. Now, obviously, if you want access to some of these properties, I might have them, I might not, but it's worth reaching out and letting me know. Of course, if you're looking for the off-plan market, there are still some options available, but only in the areas like JVC and Arjan. You're definitely not going to find anything less for that in any of the other areas said before. But if you are considering maybe going into the Marina or Downtown, then I will say to you now, you've got to do your due diligence. Just because it seems cheap online, it doesn't mean that it's going to perform well, and it could actually end up costing you a lot of money. So if you are going in for one of the older buildings, I highly suggest, you know, you do your thorough research because you don't want to lose any more money than the money you've already been put in. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.